All right.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, we have a couple things on the agenda. Do you want to talk about the first letter that we're going to send out, Mr. Wisher?
Yes. So, referencing a letter that before you that I provided you, we discussed in executive session. There's no official action was taken in executive session. The order of business would be to approve termination of employment as set forth in the letter for you dated April 20, let's see, 24, 2026.
Do I have a motion to accept and send the letter?
I make a motion.
Do I have a second?
Aye.
All in favor?
Aye. That's approved. Letter will be mailed out tomorrow.
Okay. The second order of business is we've never elected a president, so I guess we need a nomination for a president.
So move. I'm gonna nominate Dean.
Okay, I second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. You accept?
Actually,
Okay.
thank you. You'll sign the letter.
And then we had some yards that I was just gonna notify. They have 10 days after we notified them. If they're mowed, when we send someone out, we don't mow them. You know, but if they're not, then we do. So do you guys have any questions about any of them?
I don't.
Okay, do I have a motion to accept?
So move.
Do I have a second? All in favor? Aye. And Mr. Parsley.
Okay, I've got a couple things that we need to just take action on that we had, I guess, to move forward to the council. So we opened bids on the wastewater project a couple weeks ago, and we opened bids on the lead service line project a couple weeks ago, whatever. I don't think we ever issued a formal bid tabulation for both of those. And I think we probably need an action for them to accept a low responsible bidder on both of those projects. So the wastewater project, it was Blankenberger Brothers, and then the lead service line project, it was Love Excavating out of Huntingburg. So we went through all the documents. I think that's good. Both projects came in. So pretty good on, but I think we probably need to mostly from that. Both projects. Yeah.
Do I have a motion? Do I
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
So we'll move that to council.
Council, you know, had a couple engineering amendments associated with both of those projects as well. On the wastewater project, the Division A, which is the wastewater treatment plant, part of the work. You guys approved a time extension on that primarily due to delays in getting materials. It's a little over 6 months longer than what everything was anticipated to get. They haven't asked for any additional funds for that, but we have additional engineering and inspection work associated with that. So I have an amendment prepared to cover that. I wanted to wait until we got closer to knowing. I've talked about this a couple times, but I wanted to wait till we got closer to knowing everything's going to test and be complete. They were going to make that schedule. They did their wet testing last week. Everything's looking pretty good out there. So, so for our services for that, and then there's also a design change. We had to move some lines for Centerpoint. So they have a pretty large easement for the high lines that go outside down north of the substation there. We have encroached on that in the past as well. We've been fighting with them for a year about these lines that have to cross their property. They're easy. They don't own the property. They just have it. And finally got out of them. They are planning to make some improvements to that line, and they were concerned about our gravity line being illegal and them needing to move things around and that being in the way. So we convinced them to allow us to put our pressurized line there, which is a little more flexible. We need to for that stuff, but we had to redesign. Good. That's not the vision piece. That was included in here as well. Our total fees for both of those things is $162,000 in this amendment. So we need to move out on that all fits within the budgets. I mean, we've got contingency money set aside for the project, so it's nothing extra.
Do I have a motion to send that to council?
So move.
Do I have a second? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Second amendment, paperwork on it just came up this week, came to my attention this week, but it's on the lead service line project. We bid out another lead service line project a week before we bid your guys' out, and it came in substantially under budget. So we went back, we had almost the same bidders on both projects. So since most of this money is grant, we want to use as much of it as we can. So the week of bidding, we added an undistributed quantity of 45% more lines for them to look at and potentially replace. And when we opened bids, your bids were good, or even better than what we had opened in the other one. So you're getting to do 45% more work, is what it amounts to, without paying more. But we didn't get into the instruction on where that was supposed to be, where that needs to go, and I suspect it's going to take more time for them to do it. So we're putting the budgets together now to close it's a loan, even though it's a grant. It's a loan that's forgivable with SRF. So they're putting the budgets together now to close all those documents. So we need to establish those costs now, whether or not we use them. I think they'll probably kind of want some more time. So our fees probably $102,000 more. So I'll put together a formal amendment for that. If we could get that ready for next week, if we could do that in there next week. But I want to get it in the budget. Talking to the rate consultant does all that work. So I'm getting them numbers tomorrow. Those are going to start out next week. We'll potentially have a call with SRM on Monday about that. But again, you're in better shape than I am as far as us being able to use all the money. We are right there. We're within. Last estimate I had, we were at $88,000 of all the money that they gave us. The other one, I'm within 1,000. Not necessarily on the table. We're hoping it goes towards the next project, but anyway, it's a good problem.
Yes.
It's a good problem.
Do I have a motion to send that? Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
That's all I have.
Okay. Does anybody else have anything?
No.
Do I have a motion to adjourn? Second. All in favor?
Aye. All right. Good
Cornbread.
job.
We're ready.
Cornbread time.
No,
You
no, I've
already had it.
already had my cornbread.
Huh?